They ignored your struggle until your success became impossible to ignore. There comes a moment in every person's life when excuses stop working, fear stops protecting you, and comfort becomes more painful than discipline. Most people spend their entire lives waiting for permission to become who they were meant to be. They wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect timing, the perfect support system, but greatness has never waited for perfect conditions. Greatness is born in pressure, built in sacrifice, and revealed in the moments when nobody is clapping for you. America was built by people who refused to surrender when life got hard. Workers who stayed awake through exhaustion, immigrants who carried dreams bigger than their fears, leaders who kept fighting even when the odds looked impossible. And that same fire exists inside you right now. But somewhere along the way, the world convinced you to play small. It convinced you that being average was safe. It convinced you that your dreams were unrealistic. It convinced you to lower your standards, lower your voice, lower your expectations, and slowly accept a life you were never designed to live. But listen carefully, because this truth can change your entire future. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to hand you confidence, discipline, success, or freedom. The life you want will only respond to the version of you that is willing to fight for it. Every successful person you admire reached a point where they had to decide between comfort and growth. And growth always demands pain. The gym hurts, discipline hurts, rejection hurts, failure hurts, loneliness hurts, but regret hurts in a way that destroys the soul. Imagine waking up 10 years from now knowing you settled for less because you were afraid to believe in yourself. That pain is heavier than every temporary struggle you are facing today. You were not born just to survive bills, stress, and routines until the day you die. You were born with purpose. You were born with power. You were born with the ability to create impact in this world. But purpose means nothing without action. Dreams without execution become disappointments. Potential without discipline becomes wasted talent. And too many people spend their lives addicted to motivation without ever becoming committed to transformation. Motivation can start the fire, but discipline keeps it alive when emotions disappear. Because there will be mornings when you feel tired. There will be nights when doubt attacks your mind. There will be moments when nobody believes in your vision. And in those moments, you cannot rely on feelings. You must rely on standards. You must become the type of person who moves forward no matter what mood you wake up in. That is how champions are built. Not in easy moments, not in comfort. Champions are built in silence, in repetition, in sacrifice, and in the ability to keep going when everything inside you wants to quit. The world respects people who refuse to break. So stop asking whether you are capable. You are capable of far more than you realize. The real question is whether you are willing to endure the process required to unlock that version of yourself. Because success is not magic. Success is consistency repeated long enough for the world to notice. It is waking up early when nobody is watching. It is improving when nobody is praising you. It is believing in your future before there is any evidence to support it. And understand this clearly. Your environment does not define your destiny. Your past does not define your future. Your failures do not define your identity. The moment you decide to take ownership of your life, everything changes. Because powerful people do not waste energy blaming the world. They build themselves until they become impossible to ignore. And right now, at this very moment, you have a choice. You can stay trapped in fear, distraction, excuses, and average thinking, or you can rise up, take control of your mind, and become the person your future is begging you to become. Because the next chapter of your life will be written by the decisions you make starting today. And that is why you cannot afford to quit now. Not after everything you have survived. Not after every setback that tried to break you. Not after every sleepless night, every silent battle, every moment you kept going while nobody understood your pain. You did not come this far just to stop here. The strongest people are not the ones who never struggle. The strongest people are the ones who keep moving forward while carrying struggles nobody else can see. And if you are still standing today, then there is still purpose attached to your life. There is still greatness waiting to be uncovered. But greatness requires responsibility. You cannot keep repeating the same habits while expecting a different future. Every day you delay your growth. You delay the life you were meant to live. Every distraction steals time you will never get back. And time is the one thing money can never replace. That is why focused people move differently. They protect their energy. They protect their mindset. They understand that every decision either builds their future or destroys it. The problem is that most people want success without sacrifice. They want confidence without preparation. They want results without discipline. But life does not reward talk. Life rewards action. And once you understand that, everything changes, because you stop waiting for motivation and start becoming obsessed with execution. You stop making excuses and start making progress. You stop fearing failure and start using failure as fuel. Understand this clearly. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than most people have even tried. Failure is not proof that you should stop. Failure is proof that you are pushing beyond your comfort zone. The people who win in life are not fearless. They simply refuse to let fear control their decisions. And the moment you stop running from discomfort, you begin transforming into someone stronger than your past. There are people watching you right now who are inspired by your resilience even if they never say it out loud. Your story matters. Your rise matters. Your comeback matters. Because somebody else needs proof that it is possible to survive hard seasons and still become successful. That is why your struggle is not meaningless. Pressure is creating strength inside you. Pain is teaching you endurance. Hardship is building wisdom most people will never have. One day, the same battles that almost destroyed you will become the reason somebody else refuses to give up. But first, you must decide that your future deserves more than your excuses. You must decide that your goals matter more than temporary comfort. You must decide that your dreams are worth fighting for every single day. Because nobody remembers the person who almost succeeded. The world remembers the people who kept going when quitting would have been easier. So when life tests you again, and it will, do not fold under pressure. Stand taller. When doubt enters your mind, answer it with action. When fear tells you to play small, prove it wrong with courage. When failure knocks you down, get back up with more hunger than before. That mentality changes everything, because eventually, the discipline becomes your identity. The struggle becomes your training ground, and the person who once doubted themselves becomes unstoppable. Never forget this. You are stronger than your excuses. You are bigger than your fear. You are more powerful than the limitations placed on you by society, by failure, or by your past. But power means nothing if you never use it. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for somebody else to believe in you first. This is your moment to rise. This is your moment to fight for the life you deserve. And years from now, when people ask how you transformed your life, you will be able to say one thing with certainty. I stopped doubting myself. I embraced the struggle, and I refused to quit no matter how hard life became. That decision changed everything.